A 71-year-old man walked into his bank of 22 years last Tuesday. He asked to withdraw $9,000 in cash from his own account. Money he had saved, money with his name on it. The teller refused. Not because his account was frozen, not because there was a legal hold, because his bank had quietly implemented a new internal policy in 2025 that gives employees the authority to block, delay, or flag specific types of transactions made by customers over the age of 60. He did not know that policy existed. Nobody told him when he opened his account. Nobody sent him a letter. It went into effect, and he found out about it standing at the teller window with his hand out. Now here's the part that will surprise you. That policy was not designed to hurt him. It was designed to protect him. And understanding exactly what it covers, why it exists, and what your rights are inside of it could be the most important banking information you hear this entire year. I am going to walk you through 6 specific transactions that banks are now authorized to restrict, delay, or outright block for senior customers, what federal law says about your rights in each situation, and exactly what to say if it ever happens to you. Stay until the end because the last one affects every single person over 60 who has a checking account anywhere in the country. Subscribe right now and turn on the bell. These policies are changing in 2026 and most seniors have no idea they even exist. This channel tracks exactly this kind of information and brings it to you before it becomes a problem. Hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Here is the background you need to understand why this is happening. In 2024, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau published data showing that seniors over 60 lose more money to financial exploitation than any other age group in America. Over $3.4 billion in documented losses in a single year. And that number only counts cases that were actually reported. In response, federal regulators gave banks something they never had before: explicit legal permission to intervene in a customer's transaction if the bank reasonably believes that customer may be a victim of financial exploitation, even if the customer insists the transaction is legitimate, even if the customer is standing right there demanding their own money. That permission is now being used. Banks are training employees, policies are being written, and seniors are showing up at teller windows experiencing something that has never happened to them before in 40 years of banking. Here is what specifically is being restricted and why. Banks across the country have implemented internal thresholds, typically between $3,000 and $10,000 depending on the institution, above which tellers are trained to slow the transaction down and ask questions. The specific trigger that escalates this from a question to a potential block is this: if you are on your phone during the withdrawal, banks now treat that as a serious red flag. Why? Because in the majority of documented elder fraud cases involving cash withdrawals, the victim was on the phone with the scammer while standing at the teller window. That is not them being rude. That is a trained intervention that has stopped real losses. You're right in this situation. You can ask to speak with a branch manager. You can explain the purpose of the withdrawal. The bank cannot permanently withhold your money, but they can delay the transaction, sometimes up to a few days, while they verify the situation. Wire transfers are irreversible. The moment that money leaves your account via wire, it cannot be recalled. Banks know this, and in 2025, several major institutions updated their policies to require additional verification steps for seniors initiating wire transfers to recipients who have never received a wire from that account before. This can include a mandatory 24-hour holding period, a callback verification where the bank calls you the next business day to confirm, or a requirement to come into the branch in person rather than initiating the wire online or by phone. If you are wiring money for a legitimate reason, a real estate transaction, a family transfer, a business payment, these steps feel like an obstacle. They are an obstacle. As of 2026, Indiana, Tennessee, Minnesota, and 27 additional states have passed laws specifically restricting cryptocurrency kiosk transactions, and banks in all 50 states have implemented internal policies flagging any cash withdrawal that a customer indicates will be used to fund a crypto ATM. Bank employees are now trained to ask directly, "Can you tell me what this cash will be used for?" If you answer with anything involving cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, a kiosk, or a digital wallet you were directed to by someone on the phone, the bank has explicit authority to delay or block the transaction. Has called crypto ATM fraud the fastest growing financial scheme targeting seniors in the country. The reason is simple. Once cash goes into a crypto ATM, it is mathematically impossible to recover. There is no fraud reversal. There is no investigation that brings it back. It is gone permanently. No government agency, no law enforcement body, no bank representative will ever direct you to a crypto ATM. This one is subtle, and it is new. Several major banks have implemented pattern detection systems that flag accounts where the same new payee, someone who has never been paid from that account before, receives multiple payments in a short window of time. The scenario this is designed to catch: a scammer gets a senior to make what seems like a small first payment, a few $100s, then a few days later another payment, then another. Each one feels manageable. Over 6 weeks, the total adds up to tens of thousands of dollars, and the senior has been gradually walked into a full financial loss. The bank system flags the pattern. A hold is placed. You may receive a call or a letter asking you to come into the branch to verify the payment relationship. If this happens to you, it does not mean your account is in trouble. It means the pattern matched something the bank's fraud system recognizes. Go into the branch, explain the payment, and the hold will be released if the transaction is legitimate. This is the one that affects every senior with a checking account, because gift cards are a completely normal purchase for birthdays, holidays, grandchildren, and everyday giving. But gift cards are also the payment method of choice for phone scammers. The IRS impersonation scam, the Social Security scam, the grandchild emergency scam, all of them end with the same instruction: go buy gift cards and read us the numbers on the back. Banks and retailers working together have implemented purchase limits and point-of-sale flags for gift card purchases, particularly when made with a debit card by a customer in the senior age demographic. Cashiers at certain retailers are now trained exactly like bank tellers. If an older customer is on the phone while purchasing multiple gift cards, they are instructed to pause the transaction and ask questions. If you ever experience this while buying gift cards for a completely legitimate reason, the solution is simple. Here is the single most important thing to understand about every restriction I just covered. The bank can delay your transaction. They can ask questions. They can require a branch visit. They can hold funds temporarily while they verify a situation. What they cannot do is permanently withhold your own money from you without legal cause. If you believe a bank has wrongfully blocked access to your funds, you have the right to file a complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau at consumerfinance.gov. You have the right to ask for a written explanation of any hold placed on your account. And you have the right to speak with a branch manager at any point in any transaction, no exceptions. Knowing your rights inside these policies is just as important. One final thing: every restriction I covered today is reactive. It kicks in after something suspicious is already happening. The one proactive step that works before any of this starts is the trusted contact designation. You give your bank one name and one phone number. Someone you trust. Not someone who controls your account. Someone the bank can call if they see something that concerns them. That one step turns your bank from a system that reacts to fraud into a system that has a human being it can reach out to on your behalf. Set it up this week. Ask any teller. It takes 10 minutes. Share this video with one senior you know today. These policies are in effect right now, and most people will find out about them standing at a teller window when it is not the right moment to learn. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and I will see you in the next one.